We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world.
Well, the world is watching and, for many, holding its breath in the aftermath of last night's Israeli attack on Iran, explained there by a spokesman for the Israeli military.
ABC's Jordana Miller is watching it all from Jerusalem and joins us now. Jordana, almost immediately after the bombs started falling, Israelis were told to get to shelters. What is the mood in Israel right now?
Wow, it feels very eerie here. And by the way, a kind of throwback to the first days of October 7th after Hamas's surprise attack, because, during that period, there was so much uncertainty. I think a lot of people feel triggered by what's happening. So far, we've only heard one siren, and that was at 3 a.m. when the Israeli government essentially turned on that siren to wake up the country and let everybody know that Israel was in the middle, had just really embarked on a massive strike, preemptive strike is what they're calling it, against Iran's nuclear facilities, which also includes strikes on ballistic missiles and a bunch of targeted assassinations, which, as it turns out, have taken out at least 4 top Iranian leaders, including the head of the Revolutionary Guard, the head of Iran's Air Force, the equivalent of the Iranian Joint Chiefs of Staff, right? So, trying to, sow confusion in Iran's communications and leadership ranks, right? I think Iran is kind of reeling right now. And it's worth mentioning that the Israeli attack is continuing. There's been wave after wave after wave. Israel's been striking, for example, Natanz, one of the 2 main nuclear facilities that Iran runs, where they have been able to enrich uranium to such high levels, taking out. The Israelis say they have significantly damaged the facility, rendering it basically inoperable. And the Iranians are saying it has also suffered significant damage. The Iranians have also admitted a bunch of their top leaders that have been killed. Israel also killed a bunch of their top scientists and went after, again, their ballistic missile program. And here's how that's linked to their nuclear program, because you cannot become a nuclear power unless you know how to build a nuclear warhead and you can deploy it on a ballistic missile. And that part of the equation, Iran had not completed. It was the last step, but they were closer than the Israelis felt comfortable with, given their long history of vowing to destroy Israel. And so Israel decided to carry out these very aggressive and widespread strikes. Iran has retaliated by sending initially about 100 drones towards Israel, but most of those have been shot down outside of Israel's airspace, and we have not heard sirens over those drones.
You got to believe, though, Jordana, that the Israelis are expecting there will be more of a response from Iran, right?
Of course. The Israelis have been very frank with the public. This is really a war. This isn't a one-off attack like we saw during the Hamas, during the Gaza war. And they're preparing the public for several difficult weeks. And they do anticipate that Iran's going to carry out massive ballistic missile strikes, right? Iran is going to try to overwhelm Israel's very sophisticated air defense systems. And with the high numbers, right, if it's 400 or 500 or 600, some will get through, right? So the Israelis are asking the public to do, to stay near their safe rooms and to get them ready, which, I did as well early this morning, right? Shopping, getting water and dried goods and bringing toys and other things. I have young children, and just getting, knowing where we're going to go when we hear the siren, because it won't be stay in the shelter for 10 minutes or even an hour, which is what happened before. It may be, stay in the shelter for the entire day, right?
ABC's Jordana
So-
Miller. Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. We are out of time, but we appreciate the very vivid picture that you have painted of what's going on in Israel. So often, Jordana, we sit in a different country and you really don't have any
Very
idea
different life here
what
than
it's
there, yeah.
like to be under fire basically all the time.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.